Good evening, everybody. My name is Ivan Temilkov, founder and chief human marketer at Razor Sharp Digital, the number one human marketing agency in the world, where we help brands and individuals establish their digital footprint using multi-channel marketing, emotional engagement, and human-to-human business practices. You are watching episode 5 of the evening show Depths and Widths, and we are streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope worldwide. Why should you be listening or watching this show? Well, because you're going to learn something interesting and hear a fresh perspective. That's what you're going to get out of this show. Now, this evening, I'm going to do something very interesting, and this is like completely out of the realm. That's exactly why I'm doing this. And yes, you guessed it. Wear it or swear by it. We're about to get down and dirty with the mask showdown, the mask duel showdown. And honestly, because I am laughing my ass off at everything that I'm seeing on social media, it is just absolutely comical, to be honest with you guys. And what I'm talking about is, so first of all, before I talk about it, what I'm going to talk about, get ready for this. Okay, get ready for this. All right, here it comes. Here it comes. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Here it is. Here's my mask. All right. Wear it or swear by it. Okay, that's what we're going to talk about this evening. Why am I talking about this? Why am I talking about this? Okay, because there's two different types of people on social media right now. There's COVID-19. We all know. Okay. And regardless how you feel about it, I want to literally extrapolate something this evening and put some clarity around a couple of things, because I think social media has literally made masks to be the spawn of evil. And here's what I want to talk about this evening, okay? So there's two different types of people out there. There's the people who acknowledge the fact that you need to wear a mask to protect yourself, because masks do help. And there's people who see absolutely no purpose, no value, no protection whatsoever in wearing masks. And why am I talking about this? Why am I talking about this? Because it is absolutely comical, the kind of shit that I'm seeing on my social media feeds everywhere. Literally everywhere. Look, if you're the type of person who chooses to wear a mask, and I have one right here, okay, then wear the damn mask, okay? And don't worry about what anyone else says about it. It's for your own protection. You have made the choice to wear the mask, okay? You shouldn't have to worry about other people's perception or other people's validation of why you're wearing a mask. Okay, so it's okay. You've made that choice. The only person that's going to suffer any consequences from wearing a mask is you, nobody else. Now, let me talk about the flip side of this. The people that are bashing masks and saying that they're completely useless. It's your choice. You've made that choice. And that's okay. That is your choice. You've made that decision for yourself. You know what's not okay? Is to tell people who choose to wear masks for their own personal protection that masks are completely useless. Why? What is the purpose of bashing people who have made the decision of wearing a mask? Why? Why should you be bashing those people? Look, ladies and gentlemen, isn't the purpose of this difficult time for us to come in unity and support so we can continue to exist as humans, as opposed to bashing each other on social media about, hey, there's people wearing masks and there's people not wearing masks. Literally, if you're a person who is against wearing a mask, there's absolutely no reason that you should be going out there on social media and bashing others and saying that wearing a mask is completely useless. You've made that choice. Now, the people that have made the choice to wear a mask, they've made their choice. It's a free world that we live in. And I feel like both sides are trying to persuade the other. The people that are choosing to wear a mask are persuading the people who are against wearing a mask, and vice versa. I mean, it is just absolutely ludicrous. It really is. It's almost childish. And the reason I decided to talk about it this evening is because literally I'm trying to find reasons to unfriend people on Facebook specifically, because the type of shit that I'm seeing in their social media feeds. And again, I'm going to harp this. If you choose to wear a mask, okay, then wear a mask. If you choose not to wear a mask, that's okay. If you choose to wear a mask, don't go out there and be bashing people who choose not to. Of course, you can always share the benefits or what you believe in, but it's okay to agree to disagree, and vice versa. If you choose not to wear a mask, don't bash upon the people that have chosen self-protection. I mean, come on now. We have to come together as a nation to overcome this as a society. And honestly, I'm not seeing that happening. I'm just not. I'm seeing too many people that are making this out to be a joke, and there's people who are literally getting aggravated over this. And then there's the other thing, literally, that is just, this is just absolutely comical, ladies and gentlemen. I can't fathom this. So there's a lot of public businesses now that are requiring facial protection. Businesses like Walmart and Target, places that we all shop as consumers. Now pay attention to this. If you choose not to wear a mask in a public place, or I should say in a private place like Target or Walmart, it's your own damn fault. These are private businesses who can set their own rules. If you're against wearing a mask while shopping at Walmart or Target or any other private business, then that's your own damn problem. They have every reason to require their customers to wear facial protection simply for the protection of their own employees. So if you're against that, don't shop at Target. Don't shop at Walmart. Go elsewhere. But you know what I'm seeing a lot on social media right now is a lot of people bashing these public businesses, or I should say these private businesses, not public businesses, about the fact that they're requiring facial protection. Think about this for a second. If you owned a business and it was in the best interest to make certain decisions because it's in the best interest for your business and your employees, you would set those ground rules regardless, because it would affect your business. But when you have outsiders who are trying to come in and infiltrate and say, oh, well, why is Walmart requiring facial masks? They can, and they will. You have two choices: wear facial protection or don't. But don't bitch about the fact that, oh, I have to wear a mask going to Walmart or Target, so I'm not going to shop there. Well, that's your loss. You know what? I'm going to put on my mask. I'm going to go shop and get my groceries and be on my merry way. This is what people are not understanding, honestly, right now. Like, there's this huge disconnect in people who are so against facial protection and everything that's going with COVID. And mind you, I am by no means persuaded that this is a pandemic. I will tell you that. I've seen the numbers. In fact, numbers are skyrocketing here in the Midwest where I'm located, but I'm just not persuaded. One part of me thinks that this is nothing more than a political fiasco, literally. That it's a complete illusion that somebody created. But on the flip side of it, I'm looking at how many people are dying of this also. And look, this is way above my pay grade. This is why I'm talking about this topic this evening, because I want you guys to have some clarity and some perspective that can give you some peace. Because there's a lot of people on social media right now that they're getting the wrong information from the wrong sources. And if you're just tuning in, thank you for joining me on this edition on Depths and Wits, episode 5. We're talking about wear it or swear by it. Wear your mask or swear by it. And I think social media has just, made literally a mockery of this whole wearing a mask and facial protection. Because too many people are just venting about this whole situation. And again, it's really simple. If you choose to wear a mask for self-protection, now I wear a mask when I'm going to Walmart or Target. We're taking precaution for my kids, when we're out like in huge crowds. But besides that, we're not wearing our masks. We're not wearing a mask at home. We're not wearing our masks, in the car, because it's just completely useless. And mind you, I have a wife who has an autoimmune disorder. So honestly, if anybody should be worried, it should be me, according to everything that's being talked about COVID-19, that apparently it's a pandemic that attacks people with autoimmune diseases, poor immune systems, weak immune systems. So she is absolutely, she could be a victim of this, right? So I don't want to hear any of that bullshit that, oh, well, you should be wearing or not wearing the mask. No, that's complete bullshit. You have a choice to make. And, I saw someone in my feed earlier today that said that, they put up a post that said that, stop tagging me in what you believe in about, wearing masks. And this is a person that wears a mask, but then she's in complete disbelief that masks work. It's kind of like that's completely counterintuitive. Why would you choose to wear a mask if you don't believe that it works? Are you just trying to put on a face for everybody else? I mean, nobody's going to benefit from that. But you, again, wear a mask is for your own protection. You choose not to wear it, don't wear it. It's that simple. It's literally that simple. But what is literally the purpose, the benefit behind getting on social media and bashing people who choose to wear masks? Like, what is that going to accomplish? Honestly, don't wear the mask. Literally, like this is one of the most frustrating things about social media, honestly, is that there's way too much bullshit on there. And I even started, one part of me wanted to talk about the chaos that's happening with Twitter, and that being a complete fiasco in itself, but I didn't. I wanted to talk about masks and facial protection because, my wife works in the medical field. I have friends in the medical field, who are literally in the trenches and telling me what's happening with this COVID thing. And in fact, my wife just had a couple of coworkers that she's worked with that literally nearly died. Like they went from like being healthy to like nearly died. And one, I think, just gave birth to a premature baby. So like it's all about how you perceive things, how you look at things, the choices that you make, the actions that you take. Literally, wearing a mask or not wearing a mask is no different than anything else that you do in life and in business. Principally, it's the same fundamentally. Okay? I mean, why can't we fathom that? Look, I've got some Purell right here. Okay? I'm going to do a little pump. Okay? Put some on my hands. Because guess what? It's just good, thing to do because I'm touching shit. I've got a mic. I've got equipment on here. God knows the dirty hands that I've put on here after eating lunch and touching other shit. I mean, that's just common sense. Like, you know what's really mind-boggling here is that about 95% of Americans don't wash their hands after using the bathroom. You mean to tell me that you didn't wash your hands after you wiped your ass and you took a dump in a public bathroom and then you touched the handle and then I happened to walk in? Come on now. We're supposed to coexist here and help each other. And then you have the people who are bashing, like the little lever now that are on bathroom doors in public bathrooms. Well, wherever you are, depending on whether or not you can access public bathrooms, right? It's like that foot thing, that metal thing. It's there because people are too freaking lazy to wash their hands. That's why it's there. Okay? Do your part. Just do your part. It's that simple. Okay? Honestly, have zero expectations from people. This is a conversation that I even have with my wife very frequently because she tends to get aggravated about the stupidity and the mediocrity that we have going on in society. And honestly, I used to be that way. And looking at this COVID-19 situation, like I'm hearing people say, oh, my business is struggling and this and this and this. I'm like, okay, well, what did you do differently? Did you cave in to what everybody else was telling you? And I'm not even talking about caving into wearing a mask. I mean, I've seen even the Chinese joint down the street that remained open. They just took additional measures to ensure the safety of their customers. That's just good business. And what they did is they started wearing masks. They closed their dining room, and there's a person who sprays down the door handle on their door, every once in a while, and they have signs for the protection of their own customers. Honestly, that's just smart business. If you're not looking out for your customers, they sure as shit are not going to buy anything from you. So again, a mask actually makes sense, right? Because it's just standard protection. And honestly, I can't even begin to tell you how many people I unfriended 2 months ago on Facebook. There was someone literally that I watched a video, a doctor. I'm not going to say what kind of doctor. He wasn't like a surgeon or anything. A doctor, so to speak. And one of his videos reached like 50,000 views. And he literally spent 45 minutes telling people how ineffective masks are. Now, what's the benefit of that? To build a cult of naysayers? Like, if you ask me, anything that you would put over your face is better than not having anything on your face. Okay? What's the level of effectiveness of a piece of cloth on your mouth? I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. But there's one common thing that I know for sure. It's better to have this on while I'm shopping at Walmart or Target than not having this and absorbing everything that's in the air at Target or Walmart. I mean, that's just common sense, people. Complete common sense. Come on now. And this is one of the reasons why I wanted to do this episode, okay? Because of the mockery that social media has made about masks and how much a lot of people are resenting them. Look, I know a lot of people who are on my social feed right now who resent these things, literally. And you know what I tell to them? That's your choice, man. You made that choice. Ma'am or sir, you made that choice. I'm cool with it if you're cool with it. But don't force feed your choices down my throat because I made a different choice. You see, that's the clash right there. Why can't we agree to disagree? We'll be much further as a society, as a nation. than constantly bickering over each other about the fact that, well, someone chose to wear a mask, or someone chose not to wear a mask. And honestly, I'll tell you this: a lot of the naysayers that are talking about, the who are in resentment of wearing a mask, have no actual factual proof from a trusted source to show that these masks don't work. It's just their own personal opinions for the most part. And honestly, I'm not even weighing that. I'm just sharing from an experience. But look, again, if you choose not to wear a mask, that's cool. I'm cool with it. I got no problem. But don't come around and tell me that I shouldn't wear a mask because I made a different choice. Or frown upon me because I made a different choice than yours. You know what makes a big person? You know what makes someone a bigger person than everyone else? Is to agree to disagree. In this case specifically. That's what makes you a bigger person. That's what makes you more unique than others. That's what makes you exceptional. That's what makes you a contribution to society. Because you're not in the minutia of the bullshit. You agree to disagree. And honestly, I'm telling you this, ladies and gentlemen, because I used to be that person in my 20s where I was so stern and firm about my own decisions that I would frown upon others anytime someone else had a different opinion about how I felt on things. But these days, I'm okay with agreeing to disagree. That's what makes us different. That's what makes us unique as human beings. So the evolution of what I just talked about is wear it or swear by it. You have two choices. Make your choice, but respect the choices of others. Also, don't bash them. Okay? No good human being is going to bash someone else for making a different choice because they disagree. But you know what? As humans, we can't do that. We can't agree to disagree. You want to know why? Is because if we agree to disagree, then wars, global wars, wars between different countries, two countries, would never occur. That's one of the reasons why wars actually happen. I mean, there's different reasons. There's other reasons of why wars happen, but one of the main reasons why a war occurs between two countries is because they cannot agree on the same thing. It's difference of opinion. It's simple, ladies and gentlemen. It's simple. I know that you're better than that. I know you are. And we need to come together as a nation, rise up in unity and support each other to get over this thing. Honestly. I mean, I just can't understand why people can't fathom that. I honestly, I mean, I almost feel like if I said that to my 4-year-old son, he would understand that. He had grown-ups, grown-ass adults can't agree to disagree on something as simple of whether to wear a mask or not wear a mask. So that's really all that I wanted to talk about this evening because, my social feed, especially Facebook, is full of people who, there's people who are saying, "Oh, well, don't bash me if I choose to wear a mask." Like they're actually taking into account the naysayers, and then there's the naysayers who are literally just fueling the people who choose to wear masks, and it almost turns into like a cat and mouse game, literally. Like honestly, I think some part of me, I think social platforms like Facebook completely enjoy that because it's fuel to the fire. I get it, it's business. But honestly, it's not good for humanity. There's no way it's good for humanity, to be constantly bickering at each other. And this is exactly why I'm talking about this, is because I want to see change. I'm talking about this because we need to change those ways. We need to change the way that we look at things, the way we treat each other, the way we agree to disagree. I mean, this is what leaders do. This is what true leaders do. If you look at any respectful leader in modern times, at first, they were always seen as an anomaly, right? Now, in due time, many people realized of how ahead of the times they were. And they led by example. You lead by example by doing things differently than everybody else. This is why I'm talking about this. Because I don't want to see any more people bickering at each other. I want to see people come together to agree and disagree and work in unity so we can get over this pandemic. Honestly, I've been fortunate enough that the last 3 months have been very fruitful for my business. But I can't say the same thing about many other people. In fact, me and my wife were having lunch a couple of days ago in the historic French Quarter here in St. Charles, Missouri, beautiful downtown St. Charles, Missouri. It goes back to the 1800s. Cobblestone buildings that have been there since, the late 1800s. And as we were sitting there having lunch, my wife looked around and she said, "You know what? A bunch of these places are new." And I said, "You're right, they are new." Because the old businesses that were there, that had been there for 10, 20, some even 30 years, small boutique shops ceased to exist because of COVID-19. Now, that is saddening. That is saddening because those businesses were adding to the culture, the environment, the city, the historic district, and now they're gone. Okay? Think about this. This COVID-19 thing and your personal opinion on wearing a mask or not wearing a mask is affecting more than just you. It's affecting everyone else. Okay? And the way that you react to it is the biggest thing. Let's be civil about it, okay? We're all human beings. We all need to learn how to coexist. Sure, I have different opinions on many things. Not just wearing a mask or not wearing a mask, politics, everything else, the economy. And that's cool. I'm okay with being vulnerable and transparent. This is why, I'm doing this Facebook Live. In part, is to share those things. Share that perspective. Share that opinion. But at the same time, I respect the opinions of others. Even the people that I disagree with. That's what a true leader does. Respects the opinions of those who disagree with them. That's what a true leader does. Look at any successful president. That's exactly what they do. Okay? And we'll get through this. That's all I can say. We'll get through this. But getting through this pandemic is largely dependent upon our contribution as a nation, as a society, on what we do, the actions that we take, the support for each other. It could be just as simple, literally. It could be as simple as a conversation. A small action. I mean, this is what, honestly, the other thing that I didn't talk about is the amount of pessimism that there is right now on social media, especially Facebook, around whether you should wear a mask or you shouldn't wear a mask. Literally. I mean, it is just completely ludicrous. Like, these are people that are literally fueling the fire. Like, just aggravating more and more and more and more, as opposed to trying to find ways for a solution. And you know what? I get it. Social media is about freedom of speech. You're allowed to express yourself, and so am I. In the same way that I'm here talking to you on this Facebook Live. But I'm not going to turn around and say, well, you're wrong and I'm right. I mean, there's a lot of times that I want to be wrong. There's a lot of times that I know that I'm right. And in fact, since we're talking about masks and should you wear it or swear by it, there's something really interesting that I've been thinking about recently that I wanted to share that is completely in relation to what we're talking about here. You see, there is your reality, my reality, and the reality. Okay? So your reality might be, you wear a mask or you don't wear a mask, right? My reality is I wear a mask. Not all the time, but I wear it in certain places, and definitely in places where it's required, because I know that is not only for the protection of the businesses, because if those businesses cease to exist, we won't have any access to products and goods. Think about that. Okay. And then there's the reality of things, right? Now, a lot of people are saying, oh, the CDC is lying and all of this. But let's face it, states are starting to shut down again. I think I just heard something about the state of California is shut down again, one of the largest states in the union. Now, think about this for a second. That's the reality of things. More states are closing, businesses are going to close again. And if they do, that is the reality of things. I don't care what your reality is or my reality is, that is the reality of things. There's literally 3 different realities that most people don't understand. Your reality, my reality, and the reality of the world in our nation. Okay? Like that is the biggest thing that most people don't understand. And how it really correlates to whether or not you should wear a mask. So again, as I mentioned in the beginning of the show, without sounding like a broken megaphone, the purpose of why I do the show is because I want to share fresh perspective with you. I'm definitely sharing my own opinion on this. This is not factual information, so you take it with a grain of salt. And that's the beauty of this: is freedom of speech. We all have that right. But when some of us and others step in and try to take that right from others, that's when you're crossing a line. And I feel like that's what both sides are doing right now. So again, I know this was a completely different topic, than what I usually talk about, but I'm seeing this as a real issue right now. And it's going to remain an issue if we don't take any action. It takes one person, and this is why I'm talking about this, is because I'm wanting to share clarity and extrapolate the misconceptions around whether you should wear a mask or you shouldn't wear a mask. I mean, it's that simple. Either make the choice or don't make the choice. For those of us that make the choice to wear a mask, the ones that have made the choice not to wear the mask, you shouldn't be derogatory to those people or go out on social media and make false statements about things. You're entitled to it, absolutely. That's freedom of speech. You can say whatever you want. That is completely true. But just because you have freedom of speech as a right doesn't mean that you should abuse it. You see, freedom of speech allows us to say what we want. That's true. But if you think about it, is what you're saying and the statements that you're making for the greater good of our nation? Think about that for a second. That's really what it boils down to. So anyway, that's all I want to talk about. I think the ice in my water has melted. Been talking for too long. Actually, a lot longer than I wanted to make the show. But let me know what you guys think. I'm always curious about opinions. This is a non-biased show. And by the way, I don't know if I've shared this before, but it is completely non-biased. You're entitled to share your own opinions, whether you agree with my opinions or you disagree with my opinions. Nonetheless, I'm interested in hearing your thoughts. And with that being said, this was episode 5 of Depths and Wits. Wear it or swear by it. This was a deep conversation, if I must say so. Again, my name is Ivan Temelko, founder and chief human marketer of Razor Sharp Digital, the world's #1 human marketing agency, where we work with brands and individuals in helping them forge their digital footprint using multi-channel marketing, emotional engagement, and human-to-human business practices. Why do I do this show? Well, because you're going to learn something new and get some fresh perspective that you probably didn't get anywhere else. It's that simple. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great evening. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. And until next time, take care. Bye-bye.